Thanks very much. Hi everyone, good afternoon. Thanks for being with me and sharing my next 25 minutes of my life with me together here. Today we're talking about e-commerce expansion, cross-border expansion, going international. And I would like to talk for 10 seconds about the first slide you have here. You see this poker game here. We will also talk about decisions. Most of you here have an e-shop, had an e-shop, are providing services for e-commerce, sell every day online, so you all made decisions in your life. 20 years ago, none of us were in e-commerce, so we all made already a decision 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, we would like to work in e-commerce somehow. Where I came from before I joined e-commerce, I worked in large corporations. What does that mean? Look at this picture here. It's a poker game, right? In a corporation. You need to survive. You don't know who is your friend in your own company, who is your enemy, who is your partner, and who is not. And we're going to look about that, what happens when you take further decisions in e-commerce. Few words about myself. When I usually sit where you do, and I'm having a guy on stage who tells me how great he is and how great his company is and what they can all do for you, I'm quite annoyed, I'm bored, it's a pain in the arse, sorry for using that strong word. Few words about me only. My name is Rolando Casanova, I'm a Swiss with Italian and German origin. And there are three pictures that you need to know, which is this guy here, this fine gentleman, is Giacomo Casanova. He died, he was a womanizer, so that's not me. So all of those ladies who think that we want to meet Casanova, you will have to go to Venice, right? I think he's buried there or in Prague, actually. The second thing which you need to know with the next 25 minutes you spend with me here is I'm a black and white thinker. We're going through the excursus of expanding. And I know there are grey tones in life. In e-commerce, there are grey tones. In e-commerce, it's easy. Your shopping cart is validated, the client has paid, and you make the money, unless he returns, or he's abandoning it. There is nothing in between, like you sell or you don't sell. It's going to be a bit the same in this presentation here. There are good guys in the poker game, there are bad guys in the poker games, and there are some guys you don't really know who they are and what they help you with your e-shop and your adventure to expand online. So I'd like to be a bit black and white, a bit provocative, so that you are alerted. The last time is that I tend to talk a lot, so I will try and shut it a bit. Alternatively, I'm very happy if you meet us on our stand after this talk. Right. 3 facts. Any e-commerce presentation you have seen today, you will see later says always the same. This is a chart from 2017, could have brought a more new chart to you. E-commerce grows, it explodes, it's going crazy. And we know that. Now the classical shop which opens in Europe will open in its home country, will expand to the neighboring countries, and then later on he will go in waves most likely. And this month I would like to go to the east of Europe. Now let's conquer Portugal or Spain together. How will I reach my clients there? What website do I need to have? And so on and so on. So there are different waves that we go through. The black one you see, this is us here, Germany. Yeah. We are developed. And I think all of you, today you came to look what services are there and what you can do. And I guess you're here because you would like to expand. So the message for this slide is very simple. It's a growing market. You need to do a lot of mistakes, frankly, to not grow in a growing market of 20 to 30% every year. Second thing is what we see, that the e-commerce markets have changed. As I said before, we were always focused locally on our market, on Germany, or the Austrian e-shop will be on Austria first and he tries Switzerland and Germany because of languages. Later on he may go to France, and so on and so on. At this moment, there are so many e-shops out there, hundreds, thousands in Europe, that the strategy to grow is going international. I'm not selling you something, this is something you already know, that's why you're here. And there are obviously different ways how to go cross-border, but it's happening that there is the need to grow international. But when you want to grow internationally, you have a few problems, apart from languages, how you address the client, who is going to be delivering locally, which courier service do you use. You will have problems that when you talk about logistics companies, I am here for a logistics company today, that not many logistics companies as fulfillers, e-logistics company, will be able to serve Europe. Actually, I don't know any, not even us. We are great in the whole of Europe. We make your parcels and we ship it everywhere. No, I am not aware of any, and I think I work in logistics for e-commerce for 6 years. I guess I know. Apart from the Arvatos or the big guys, and they probably serve the Zalando guys, and they're not here today because they already made the money, right? So mid-sized e-shops, smaller e-shops, startup, kickstarters, they're usually not served by a company who can cover the whole of Europe in a, I would say, great manner. Great manner meaning reaching the consumer in 2 to 3 days at a normal price. We'll talk about the price in a moment. And obviously, the choices you have to reach a consumer from Germany to Spain is to ship by DHL, GLS, Correos, whatever you like to use. To Poland with any carrier you use, it will take 3 to 4 days, and it may cost you 18, 20, 12 euros, 8 euros. And the guy from Spain who will buy from you for 50 to 100 euros is probably not very happy to pay 15 euros. And even worse, to return your product to you in Germany or wherever your e-shop is. So this is a bit of a challenge we have at the moment. Here is, in this easy slide, there are a few lies. And remember the poker game. Yeah, not everyone is always honest and truthful to an e-shop. And we will see that later. Fact, there are some facts. And depending on who tells you the stories, we tell them a bit differently, right? People abandon a shopping cart if you don't have a product on stock. You know that. I don't need to tell you that. This is no news. People contact an online trader or retailer very often with logistical questions. Where's my parcel? Why don't I have a stock? The product arrived damaged. How I return it? So they keep you busy with stuff which, okay, it's not great to deal with returns. We all know it, they're here. And there's an interesting one. When people would like to know where is their purchased. In e-commerce, where I come from a few years back in Poland, for example, it was very normal to send by post. It could arrive in 3 days, it could arrive in 5 days, it could arrive in 2 weeks. No tracking provided, so you have no clue what comes. The situation changed, very similar to Germany. Nowadays you have a courier. He will call you, he will send you an SMS, you will send an SMS, so people know when the parcel is going to come and they're happy and they can divert it, so all the services are given. It wasn't there before, but there are still e-tailers out there which even talk to us. They would like to have non-tracked services, and I'm not paid by the courier companies, but it's a fact that the consumer who orders online would like to know when he gets his stuff, and he doesn't want to wait. Now that's a funny one. If I would be, I don't mention any names, from a big courier company here, I would tell you the consumers nowadays want 24 hours delivery tomorrow, and they would like not to pay anything and actually work with us, with me, the big courier company, right? And I would like to give you a tip. I heard this recently, it was quite funny. Don't show the shipping cost, put them in your product pricing. Increase the price of your product and give free shipping. Now that's an interesting one, which means the consumer thinks it's free shipping, right? You have less margin and you hide the expensive courier charges. And that's great, because it's great for the courier company. No one challenges them. Your consumer cannot compare, because you buy just for 100 euros, and that's it. There is a fact, at least, which happens to the countries where people are not so rich in Europe, including Italy, Spain, is that actually people are willing to wait if they have an option. I would like to have it fast. I'm easy, happily to pay 10 euros. But I would also have a second option. I may have 3 euros or 4 euros, always tracked, and I will have it in 2-3 days. So depending on the poker table who is talking to the online retailer, the story changes a bit what you need to have to make money with your online shop. And finally, also important is many of the shopping carts are abandoned, and we know that people, they're ready to buy. Now they see an exorbitant freight charges or bad delivery terms, or they have to return the product to Sweden, and they know it's going to be bloody expensive, and they go away. And I don't know how many billions of shopping cart values are wasted. I don't know the number, but I'm sure it's a lot. And the people in this room most likely know what it is, because you measure this daily or every hour. And here comes what I call the little Red Riding Hood, is the e-shop. Yeah? You're here today, you want to buy services, you would like to know what's the trend, what's up, what can you improve to sell more, to reach more consumers in Europe. And these are just some fractions here of your partners. We all want to be your partners, right? We all want to be taking part of your cake, which is normal in every business. The e-commerce very rapidly developed, and there were as such service providers, including us, who developed very rapidly with the e-shops. And I am obviously now focusing on logistics and couriers, because that's where I come from originally, and where I would like to give you a bit of a hint on this cross-border within the e-commerce. But important for you is to know is, when you go on the websites of e-tailers, on whoever we are here, including us, you see many nice pictures, and it may not always be the case. I'll give you a few practical examples in a moment. So, coming into logistics, we know 20 years ago there was no e-commerce, so there were no e-commerce logistics companies out there. There were forwarders, courier companies. They always existed since I can remember, at least. And they're still here today. They just changed a bit the wording, right? From B2B to B2C, as an example. And your decision is going to be, and I think this is where we stand with the decisions. We said it at the very beginning, you decided to be in e-commerce. So we're talking decisions here. Later on, you started to decide, do I do this full-time or stay part-time? Full-time. So you opened with your team a full e-shop. Then you decided where I'm going to sell, on Amazon, eBay, or I'm going directly with my websites, or I make an intelligent mixture. And then you had to decide again, do I do the logistics in-house or I give it away? And you may have opted to give it away, which is fine. Of course, this is why I'm here for, to tell you, give it away, yeah, because that's how we make a living. But that's a decision you have to make based on your plans and on your consumers' demands and your capabilities. Most give it away when you reach a certain level of orders. So finally, this is a first, I would say, takeaway, what I call the miraculous transformation of logistics, old logistics companies to fulfillers. Because we want to ship your parcels, right? And the problem starts when you go cross-border and you will start to look on the internet. Who is out there? Who can do my logistics, right? Because you may have your German partner doing it. You may go global. You may find any partner who can do it. So what you'll see, and I don't want to bore you with this slide. I would just like to talk about the red thing is, I work in logistics for 20 years. I'm quite old. But I struggle. If I receive offers from fulfillment houses such as ours, and we do this, we're bad. We do mystery shopping. We want to know what the competition is doing. So we have all the offers from our competitors regularly, unfortunately, but we need to know. But I don't understand them. I don't understand these offers. I'm thinking if I ship 1,000 orders a month within the European Union, well, how much it costs? I cannot calculate it. How much does a parcel cost me? I have to check how heavy is my item. Now, if I sell textile, it's rather easy. Yeah, I'm seldomly going above 2 kg unless someone orders 10 pairs of shoes. But if I have a bit heavier item, it starts to be a problem because there is a fuel surcharge, there are minimum charges. So the normal e-shop owner, a retail company, and even myself as a logistics specialist, I'm confused. I cannot make it up. Yeah? And I give you, this is the example of what we trust an e-shop needs. It's very simple. You don't want to deal with logistics, you give it away, you would like to have a storage, pick, pack, ship out, and you would like to know how much it costs. How quick is the courier they are using and when is it with the consumer? What's the service to the consumer? SMSs, email, anything else? WhatsApp. And the first thing the fulfiller, in brackets, asks you, how many pallets do you have? How many pallets do we store? That's not, I don't think you like to store pallets. You like to store as least as possible, if possible, because that's why you're an e-commerce company. You like to have a low stock and a high turn. You don't want to store 500 pallets and make 50 orders a month. But the first question we, including us, but not including us, the logistics company will ask you, how much do you store? They will not ask you what platform you're selling, because we may think of integration, right? And there is this list that I guess you will receive this presentation somehow, or you can make a picture that I would like you to consider when you go out there to talk about expansion, who you expand with. Yeah? It's the same as the returns. You have returns, 10%, 5%, 2%, 30%, and they're not great. It costs money. We all know that. So you would like ideally to know, what does a return cost to me with a third party? €1, 150. You would not like to hear or get to know if the return has one SKU, it costs you 50 cents. Every next SKU is 25 cents. And the parcel, when it comes in, because we have to scan it, costs another €1. How can you calculate your return? How can you calculate your profit margins and your prices on your website? So there are some things that I would like to brief you between, I would say, the frog and the king. So search carefully who you look for. And I think one thing is very simple. When you talk to them, you call them, you write them an email, is the question, what's the answer? Do they talk about you and about your sales? Do they talk about your consumers? Do they talk about the way you sell and where you sell and what you have? Or they talk about how many square meters of warehouse they have, how many trucks and vans and stores? Yeah? Because I don't think that's of interest to anyone who is out there selling online, because your interest is to have your product shipped in a great way to your consumer and make him, her happy. So that should be ideally an alert for you to think, who am I dealing with? Are these people really e-commerce people or just some forwarder? I hope no one is here in the forwarding business. And here I have two nice pictures. I would like to give you a bit of the game. I will have to be a bit briefer now of how to distinguish the right partners. I'm always talking here today for the last 20 minutes about honesty, and transparency is the one. The bluffing game. And it starts very simple. The e-shop comes to the fulfiller, such as us, and says, I would like to expand with you to Czech Republic or to Poland. Can you do that? Sure. How many parcels do you have? 10,000. What do you sell? Homemade marmalade. Wrong. And this is what happens very often. We get daily inquiries, and they always start, we have 100,000 parcels, we have 50,000 parcels, which is a bluff. We all know that. And what a fulfillment house like us asks is honesty. How many you really have? We need to find out what we can offer you. But it goes also vice versa. I was talking about those e-commerce companies. See these guys there and the cat in the middle? Yeah, we have 2,000 in Russia, 2,000 delivery vans for you. Now you will have to think that I need to pay 2,000 people driving those vans with your money, right? So the quintessence is here that also you need to carefully check on e-fulfillers. You look at us, including our page, we buy the pictures, right? So you will see a lot of warehouses. Is this really ours? Is this really theirs? Visit the fulfiller. Visit them, go through their operations, let you explain what they do. Not only on the phone. Overall, if you want to go cross-border, if you just want to have a one-shot deal for Cyprus, which is probably not so important, it's okay to do this on the phone or by email. But if you need a partner to go cross-border in Europe or even outside, you need to visit them early stages, not once the prices are defined and the contracts are written. Because as I said, there is a lot of phone also in our business. Yeah. So this is the checklist. It's very simple. I can't even read my own slides. Sorry, 1 second here. Yeah, this is what I said before. The e-tailer, when he goes to the fulfiller, to the e-commerce logistics company, ideally is transparent from the beginning. We're not in a competition who is the best, but how many parcels you have, what's your client base, which countries would you like to conquer, do you already have customers? I think that is very important. And a very important thing is the thing that if your products are of low value, doesn't mean they're bad, but you sell items with 15 or 20 euros of value, do not go even external. You will find no one who can do it, because also a fulfillment house needs to earn some money. And with 20 euros and we may take 1, 2, 3 euros, you simply have no margin to go outside. You will have to do it by yourself. And the thing is with the fulfiller, us, and this is how you will be able to figure out, we, the fulfiller, should be asking questions to you that you understand we know your business. And we always want the same, it's 5 questions, they are very simple. And if we are answered, we make a quote. And if we are not answered the question, we also make a quote, and it says we would be very happy to work with you, but the minimum charge to work with us is 10,000 euros a month. And we know you are never going to come back. So that's not nice, but this is the way it goes. So the checklist to go cross-border is you find the right partner, you visit the right partner, ideally you talk to them. Don't be shy to let you have the management team introduced, depending, okay, if you go to big guys like Arvato, probably it's not going to happen. But every normal fulfiller is happy to show you around. And finally, be honest, and they will ask questions and try to ask, and you can ask the questions. I think this is the most important I would like to give you here. A true fulfillment partner, and I think that's the hint here, is interesting to know that you grow, is interested in your orders, how many you do and how much he can help you to make more. He's not caring about how many pallets you have on stock and how many square meters you need, because this is the main question we always ask you in our business when you come to us, which I believe is truly fundamentally wrong. Very quick word about us. You will see this online. We are a fulfillment house. We have our main activity in Warsaw, Poland. It is a cost factor. We have a qualified team there. We have plenty of e-shop as customers, and I can tell you a secret, none of them is from Poland. So we serve Germans, Spaniards, Italians. We hold their stocks, we pick, pack, ship all of Europe. We do have, at this moment, 1 parcel hub in Germany, so we reach every German consumer within 48 hours, tracked by courier. We are opening, that's our plan, in Greece in Q4. Why Greece? Because it is a logistical desert, and we will be the first there, and we're looking forward to that. And we're opening with a partner in Spain, and opening means, it's important for you to know, we don't have 10,000 square meters, we're not interested. 3 people will be working on those locations only. Their only job is to take our customers' parcels and feed them in the local network for a local price. Give you an example, final one. You ship a parcel from Germany to a Polish consumer. I don't know exactly what you pay, but it's going to be 5, 6, 7 euros. You ship a parcel from Poland to a Polish consumer, it's going to be 2 euros, 2.20, 2.10. So there is a huge difference. So if you are able, or we are able for our clients to bring parcels on a hub into a national market and feed it in a national post, Correos, Swiss Post, Colissimo, whatever they're called, the charges are going to be half at least. I think we're there. That's about that. These are the hubs. And I think I will be, if you have questions here, we'll see that. I will be very happy to see you on our stand. It's just behind there. There are two nice ladies with me. They're highly competent. They're not only nice, they're probably even more competent than me and serious. Thanks very much for listening to me. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Rolando Casanova for Internel. So, but you're willing to take questions at your booth, but you're also willing to take questions right here and right now. And I'm sure people want to know more about the deep structures of e-logistics. So who wants to ask the first question? Please just raise your hand.
Come on, don't be shy. I'm also here and not shy.
Then I just go with the first question that I improvise right now. So like you were talking about like the tricks that some companies do in order to like, I don't want to use the word, but they're kind of like making fun of the customer by like the normal shipping prices. Like they like say, oh, it's free shipping, but then like apply it to the price of the product. Is this like a very common strategy, or is this like an exception? And what is your experience?
No, this is a trend which we see for the last half a year. Because in the past, people were just talking, here is the product and this is what it costs to ship it. But now, obviously, as the margin is high, because that means we're not big friends of courier companies, but we work with them, of course. We have enough volume to be considered. But if you convince the e-tailer to put it in the product, you are off any responsibility of any comparison reason. The guy will buy the jacket for 100 euros, but he may go online and check it on a comparison portal. It costs 90 euros. He will probably take that. Then he goes and buys it, and he will see the shipping costs are 15. Is he going to now back to the other one to check if the shipping was included? So it's a little game, I would say, as you say, and that's a trend. And I personally don't like it. I'm for transparency. Consumer needs to know, quick shipment costs this, slower shipment, more economical, I'm willing to wait, costs that. And no tricks.
So transparency is the way to go instead of like to make fun of the customer. And
yes.
Well, more questions from the audience? Yes. Ha. So finally some movement again. Like the microphone is not very loud, is it? Can we have it a little bit louder, but please make sure to speak directly into the microphone. Thank you.
Hi, thank you very much for the presentation, first of all. I have a question that's not really business related, but more in terms of like a consumer. Do you know, maybe you can explain why shipping something for UK is so much more expensive than when we have something within Europe, like from Germany? I'm just wondering.
I don't understand you properly. Can
I repeat it. It's about like why shipping from the UK or to the UK? The question is why ordering something from the UK to like other countries in Europe is more expensive than any other countries. That was the question? So do you have any idea why that is the case?
Why the shipping costs are high from Europe to the UK?
Or the
vice
other way
versa?
around, both directions, okay.
No, I think, honestly, when you look at courier companies, the prices for the countries are all the same, high or low. Yeah, so there is a pattern. To be honest, I cannot tell you. I would assume it may have to do, I'm not saying with Brexit panic, with the tunnel, whatever. I'm not able to tell you that, sorry. That's the DHL, DPD guys. I hope they can answer you that. Regret.
Any more questions? Non-Brexit related or Brexit related? No more questions? Then I would say thank you very much, Rolando Casanova again, and yeah, you will answer questions at the booth.
Thanks very much for having me here.